Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Alyssa, and I'm here to lead you through all levels yoga. We are going to practice for 45 minutes today. So just a reminder to move through the practice at your own pace. If any of the stretches are not working for you, please skip them, come on out and modify. So today for our props, I wanted to do a bit of stretching with the yoga strap today. So if you have a strap close by, that'll be great. If you want to take a minute too and look around the house, sometimes a neck tie that goes around the neck, that will be a great support. You can use that as the strap. Also, a strap that goes around a robe, something like that, a piece of rope. So we're just going to want to have that yoga strap handy if possible. But definitely you can go through the practice without the strap as well. But just be using it for a few stretches and you can just imagine you're using a strap to just get the same benefit as well. As we go through our class today, we are going to do a nice full body stretch. So we'll kind of start off focusing on the hips, releasing tension there, and the legs. We'll work through the spine as well, and also incorporate a really nice hip opener. So I'd love to do a centering on our back today, just to drop into a little relaxation. And you'll have your strap, your yoga strap close by, just off to the side there. And as the start, we're just going to take a reclining centering. So you can just relax along the yoga mat. Have the back of your head relaxing down. And either legs are relaxed or bending the knees and planting the feet. So you have a couple options there. So you can just check in what feels the best for your body. And giving yourself a moment to just close the eyes. Allowing for yourself to arrive here on your yoga mat. Releasing the day so far. So whether the day's been good or bad or whatever it may have been, just letting that go, knowing that you can just start fresh and start new in this moment here. And then also if you have a little bit of a to-do list that's on the mind of things that you need to do after class, something that I'll do if that's showing up for me is I'll just imagine there's a shelf and all of those things that I need to do or worry about or whatever it might be, things I need to think about, I just set it on the shelf and I just say, this will be there for me when I'm done in 45 minutes. So that you can really give yourself this time to relax. Give yourself this time for yourself. And if you'd like, you could set an intention for your class today. It might be that you want to relax. It might be that you're holding tension in your body. You want to release that. So there's really no right, no wrong intention, whatever feels right in your heart. Let's take an opportunity to make our way into a full body stretch. So hands can come up and overhead. Maybe point your toes, flex your feet. Allow for your body to be as active as possible here. Knees will come to the chest. Arms, hands around knees or shins. And gentle rock to the right and gentle rock to the left. Just trying to let go of any tension here on the low back. Coming into stillness, let's take a moment to grab that yoga strap. And we'll begin to loop the strap around the ball of the right foot. And then extending your right foot up to the sky. Your left leg, either it is extended along the mat. You can also bend your knee and plant your feet. So you can see what feels supportive there in your low back. And we're going to circle. So finding some circles in the hip joint. Now, if you don't have a strap, you can just have your leg extended up. One option would be to interlock your fingers, have a little gentle support to the back of the leg. We're just going to guide ourselves into some hip circles to gently warm up the hips. This will also help with our low back, and we'll also get into hamstrings and calves as well. And circle, begin to reverse. And then maybe as you're circling, just noticing if it feels more natural to circle this way. It might feel a little unnatural to circle this way. And we'll come to stillness here. Hands can walk up the strap. So we'll encourage the right leg into the body a little bit. Try to have your leg as straight as possible. Give yourself this opportunity to press out through the back of the knee and to press out through the heel. The right foot will open to the right, bringing yourself into an inner leg stretch here. As you come into the stretch, try to get nice and grounded here in your left hip. Sometimes this hip will roll up and rise up a little bit. So really ground it down. Feel that nice, even connection in the low back. And we'll bring ourselves back to center. If that left leg is bent, you can straighten it out. And let's take a twist. So right foot will move to the left. And if it reaches all the way over, that's great. If it's lifted, that's great as well. Now, this brings us into a reclining spinal twist, and we'll also get a wonderful IT band stretch on this one. So a nice stretch into the outer parts of the right leg. Coming back on up, let's take our left foot to meet our right foot. We're just gonna switch the foot. Right leg relaxes down. Circles, find your movement. Imagine that you could draw circles in the ceiling with your heel. Reverse, flow in the other direction. And find your way to stillness. Hands walk up the strap, encouraging the leg into your body. And breathing here. So as we take the stretches on the second side of the body, just notice if it feels very similar. It may also feel very different one side to the next side. Left foot, we're going to open that to the left, landing in that inner leg stretch. Try to get nice and even in the low back here. We don't want to be lifting up too much on one side. Back to center. And let's take that left foot to the right. We'll find our way into a twist. And then as you're twisting here, try to find length in your low back and also in the hip crease as well. And release. Let's come back to center, strapped. We can send that right off to the side of the mat. Knees will come to the chest, hug them in, and little rock to the right and to the left here. Now let's take a moment to roll onto our stomach. So I'm just gonna roll onto the side, maybe find a fetal pose, and then float all the way onto the belly. Now we are going to work with our quads, so we'll just stay working with those legs. Right down for the right foot. So we're gonna reach back for it. And if this is feeling challenging, feel free to grab onto your strap here. And what you can do is just loop the strap on your foot and then give it a nice pull in. We're gonna be here for a minute, so get comfy. It might feel nice to relax your head down, maybe create a little pillow. You can also prop yourself up in a half Sphinx pose. And this is so beneficial for your quads. So really good for opening up your quad, getting into the hip flexor, into the psoas. And release. Let's relax the right foot down, left hand for left foot. Maybe grab your strap. It's always interesting when we work with our legs, they can be so different. You know, one side might be easy to work with, second side, maybe you need to use the strap, maybe it's a lot more challenging. So it's always so interesting to become an observer of your body and just notice. A lot of times, if we've had an injury in the past, or even things such as our movement pattern, even holding the phone in one hand and always looking off to one side versus the other, can kind of trickle down through the body and then even affect the hips, even affect the quads. Let's begin to release the foot. We're going to press ourselves into a table position from here. And as you take table, if you would like to grab a blanket, you can always do that. Do a little padding for the knees rather. And we'll have our knees in line with hips. We'll take our hands in line with our shoulders. And let's do a bit of a circle here of our ribs. So we're going to start by lowering our ribs down to the earth. And then gently drawing the ribs off to the right, trying to stretch them off to the right as best as you can. Then come to center. Let's take those ribs right on up to the sky, a little bit of a rounding of the back. Ribs are going to float off towards the left. Let's gently soften the ribs down towards the mat, and then glide them to the right, glide them to the sky, and then off to the left. Just going to take it through some circles here. Go at your own pace. And circle in the other direction. So we're just going to reverse that movement. And release. Let's take it to stillness here, lifting to down dog on exhale, toes curl under, hips to the sky. And shake it for a little bit here. Let's bend one knee and so bend the other knee. And relax the head yes and no. So maybe shake out yes and shake out no. Let's bring it forward to forward fold, toes to the hands at the top of your mat, also called Uttanasana. And shake it out a bit here as well. So maybe bend one knee and bend the other knee. And relax your head yes. And relax your head no. And as you find stillness here, hands to the right, side stretch. Try to get grounded evenly through both of your feet, inside and outside of each foot. Let's take ourselves back to center to a fold and then hands to the other side. Reaching and stretching through the waist. Let's lengthen through the side body, through the arms, through the fingertips. Coming back to center to a fold, hands to the shins. Let's take a half lift here. Lifting through the spine, lengthening through the spine. Come on down to a fold, and then we'll rise on up. Nice full breath in to come on up, stand. And hands are at the heart as you exhale. Today, I'd love to work a little bit with our sun salutation bees. I think last week we did our knee down suns, so we'll just build on that. The sun bee is just a really nice flow to create flexibility, to build strength. And each time you flow through it, you can do different variations, which is kind of fun, give a little variety. So we're gonna take it right to the top of the mountain, top of the mat in mountain pose. So hands are going to extend to the sky. Feel your arms frame your ears, feel the hands really active. Try to reach and stretch through your fingertips and feel your palms face one another. From here, let's bring it down to chair. We'll come into Utkatasana. So we want to imagine that there is this chair behind us that we want to sit into. Weight is back into the heels, toes are light. Let's come on down. We're going to bring it into a forward fold from here. Give yourself a half lift. So hands can come to the shins. We will lift the spine and lengthen the spine. Plant your hands and come on back into plank. Let's take a high push-up pose here. Knees can be up or down, whichever you prefer. Let's lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. We'll take an upward facing dog, open the chest and the heart, curl over those toes for a downward facing dog. Right leg takes a float up to the sky. Let's come to a 3-limb dog. Right foot floats forward, nice big step. You can always use that right hand to guide it forward. And runner's lunge here. Take this opportunity to bend and straighten the front leg. Now, as you're flowing here, as you bend into the right knee, feel that your knee and ankle are in the same line. We don't want our knee to come too far forward. You can always bring a little bit more distance between your front foot and your back foot. Take an opportunity to straighten the front leg and let yourself fold forward here. Feel your spine relax. Relax your head, relax your neck. Let's take a bend in the right knee. Right hand rises, find a twist. This is our runner's twist. Feel the spine lengthen on in-breath. Allow for your twist to deepen on the out-breath. Hands can float down. Let's engage the core to rise. We're going to take it to a crescent warrior. Now, as you align in crescent, really activate your left leg. Let's press nice and firmly through the heel and through the back of the knee. From here, let's spring off of our left foot for a tree pose. We'll come into Vrikshasana. So for tree, you'll bring the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right leg. And you can bring that foot anywhere on the leg that feels comfortable. We don't want to place the foot right onto the knee joint, so below the knee or above the knee is fine. And let's take warrior one pose from here. Right, left foot back, left heel lowers, hands reach up. And warrior one, a little different from that crescent. We'll get a little more quad stretch here, a little bit more of that hamstring stretch. Have a nice deep bend in the front knee. So maybe work that front leg to a 90-degree angle. More challenge, deeper bend in the knee, less challenge, straighten that leg a bit. Let's take our arms behind our body. We're going to come to a yoga mudra here. Fingers interlock, palms touch. Maybe imagine squeezing a pencil between the shoulder blades. Let's come on down to a fold when you're ready. Devotional warrior one pose. Try to relax your head, look to your navel, let your head hang heavy. Core engages. Let's begin to rise on up. Hands lower down. Let's take it to runner's lunge. We're going to step into plank from here, high push-up pose. And then as you take plank, knees up or down, let's lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing dog. Let's try to open the chest and open up the heart space. Down dog on exhale, curl over the toes. A core engages as you lift the hips to the sky. Left leg rises up, 3-limbed dog. Float it through, nice big step to the top of your yoga mat. And bend, straighten your front leg. Now, if this is feeling challenging, right knee can come down to the mat for support. You can always modify this one. Also, as you're bending and straightening the front leg, try to just flow with your breath here. On the exhalation, feel the leg straightening. Inhalation, feel the knee bending. Let's begin to straighten the front leg. Fold yourself over, runner stretch. And left knee bends. Let's take that left hand to the sky. Find your twist. Now with your twist, see if you can stack and open the shoulders here. Try to roll your left shoulder back. Try to roll your right shoulder under. Feel that your heart is shining up to the sky. Hand floats down, core engages. Let's rise on up. We'll take it to a crescent warrior. And then as you align here in crescent, really engage the core on this one. Try to zip the core up, tailbone tucks, navel back and up to the spine a little bit. Come on forward. Let's try tree pose. Bring off the back foot. Maybe see if you can do that in one swift transition, maybe without lowering the foot down. Now in tree, try to get so grounded through all the parts of your left foot. The inside, through the outside. And notice your body's natural tendency. Notice if you tend to roll in, maybe roll out a little bit. Let's bring it through. We're going to take warrior one on the other side. Get nice and even here in the legs and hips. Take an opportunity to connect with your breath. Make sure that you're breathing in and out through your nose. Lengthen your inhale. Lengthen your exhale. Hands behind your body. Fingers interlock, palms touch, lengthen, come on down to fold. And release, let's bring it back on up. Core engages, really ground into the feet as you lift your hands up. Hands come down, runner's lunge, back on through to plank, high push-up pose. Up or down with the knees. Let's lower down, reverse push-up, chaturanga. We'll take our up dog here. Let's try to breathe into that really nice low back opening. Let's press it back. Down dog on exhale. Toes to the hands. Let's bring it forward to a fold. We'll take our half lift here. Lower down, hips will sink down, chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight floats in the heels, toes are light. Core engages, let's rise on up to stand, back on through to mountain, and hands at the heart as you exhale. Yeah, let's try that again. So we'll start by finding a different variation. We'll take our hands up for mountain. Come on back into chair, Utkatasana. Let's bring ourselves down into a fold when you're ready. Bring yourself to your halfway lift. Let's come on back, plank, high push-up pose. Knees up or down, chaturanga dandasana. Up dog. Let's really try to find that nice mid-back bend. We'll press back to down dog when you are ready. Let's bring our right leg right on up to the sky, finding a three-limbed dog. Knee into nose on exhale. Let's take a round and a crunch. Float it up and back. Exhale, round, knee to nose. Up and back. One more time. As that foot comes through, let's take it to warrior two this time. We're going to open up. This one, Virabhadrasana Dvi. And then in warrior two, we have our front heel in line with our back arch. We feel that our shoulders are over the hips. And we have hands reaching forward and reaching back. From here, let's try for pyramid. So for pyramid, we can straighten out our front leg, and then our left foot will take a nice big step forward. So not all the way to the top of the mat, but a big hop. Try to have both of your feet pointing forward. Try to feel that your hips are scoring forward here. Hands up to the sky, breathe in. Come on down to fold, breathe out. Now pyramid, this one is also called intense side stretch pose. So just notice in your body where you feel the stretch. Breathe into it. Twist if you'd like. We'll find a pyramid twist. Left hand maybe grabs onto a yoga block. Right hand rises on exhale, twist. And then as you're twisting here, try to feel the shoulders stack and open. Get this nice twist through the whole entire spine. Coming down, let's release it back onto pyramid. Left foot's gonna take a big step to the left side of the yoga mat. Right foot's gonna take a big step to the right side of your yoga mat. And then draw your feet out nice and wide. We'll try for a yogi squat here. So sometimes the wider the feet, the easier this stretch can be. Have your toes turning out so that they're in the same direction as your knees. And if you're in this one and you need a little help, rolling a blanket, drawing that underneath the heels can be nice. Sitting on a block can be nice as well. Let's release. We're gonna come on down into a forward fold. Draw your feet in line with your hips. Let's come on back. We're gonna float it to our plank, high push-up pose. Lower down, chaturanga. We'll come to an up dog here. Let's open up that upper back and then press it back to down dog. Left leg takes a float to the sky, 3-limb dog. Try to level the hips off on this one. Knee to nose, let's take an exhale, round and crunch. Float your leg up and back. Exhale, round, knee to nose. Float it up and back. And let's go one more time here. Big step through, let's rise, warrior two pose. In warrior two, imagine that there were magnets on your feet that would draw in towards one another, right to the center line of the mat. Activate the feet, activate the legs, get nice and grounded here. Releasing the stretch, trying out pyramid on the other side. Legs relax, hands relax. Right foot takes that step forward, not all the way to the top of the mat, but a little bit of a hop forward. Hips and shoulders square forward, hands to the sky. Inhale. Let's come on down to our fold and pyramid on exhale. And this one, intense side stretch pose. So just notice in your own body where you feel the stretch, what that feels like. Breathe into it. Left hand rises, twist. If you'd like to challenge yourself, see if you can take your left hip crease and try to rotate it back to the back of the yoga mat a little bit. That might give you a little bit more stretch in your legs, a little more calf stretch, hamstring stretch. And release. Let's float ourselves back on through into pyramid. Right foot takes that big step to the right. And then we're gonna widen our stance, left foot to the left. Coming into our yogi squat, Malasana garlands pose. So grab onto those props if you need them. And let's try to bring our weight back into the heels on this one. So we're gonna let our toes be nice and light. See if we can go a little deeper into the stretch. Feel your spine lengthen. And release. Let's bring it through into a forward fold. From forward fold, let's walk our feet in line with our hips. And we're gonna come out of this one a little differently. So let's take our left foot and step it back. We're gonna come to runner's lunge. Right foot will walk to the right edge of the yoga mat. So kind of like that half yogi squat we just tried out. And we're going to work with lizard and gecko. So this one is a fantastic hip stretch. If you would like to make it a little easier, you can bring your knee down onto the mat for support. Stay on the hands. You may want to drop down onto your forearms. You may want to take the forearms onto blocks. Maybe close the eyes here. You can find movement. You can find stillness. And important alignment cues for this one is just to make sure that your knee and your ankle are in line or that your knee's behind the ankle. And also try to have your knee track in line with your toes. So we just don't want toes in one direction and then knees in the other direction. I know this one can be quite intense, so see if you can find softness in the stretch as best as you can. See if you can relax as best as you can. We are going to release this one. So to come on out, you're going to be on the hands. You'll be on the toes of your left foot. Left foot takes a nice big step to the upper left edge of your mat. And then let's take our right foot back. And we're going to do our lizard and gecko on the other side. Again, stay on the hands, maybe drop down onto the forearms. You can also take the forearms onto blocks as well. And try to clear the mind of thoughts. We always have thoughts moving through the mind, maybe thoughts for the past, thoughts for the future. Try to release your thoughts. Bring your awareness to the present breath. Bring the awareness to the present moment. And release. So from here, you can curl your right toes under, right knee lifts up. Big step with that right foot to the top of your mat. Landing fold with the legs wide and give it a little shake out here. Maybe a nice deep bend in one knee and a nice deep bend in the other knee. Maybe shake the head out. Yes. Shake the head out. No. Let's heel toe the feet in so that they're right underneath the hips. Come into your half lift here, lifting the spine and lengthening, coming down to fold, and we'll wrap it with that chair pose back on through to Utkatasana. Weight in the heels, toes are light. Maybe gaze down, make sure that you can see the tips of your toes. We just don't want our knees to come too far forward on this one. We can straighten out our legs. Hands are reaching and stretching to the sky. Shoulders are relaxing from our ears. And hands can come to the heart space. Let's take a moment here just to close the eyes. Opportunity to reconnect to your breath and your body. So just feel maybe your body reacting to the breath. Feel your chest rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Feel your navel rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. And from here, I wanted to try out a pose called a yogi toe hold. It's a little challenging, but I think we got this one today. Feel free to grab onto a wall if you have a table or a chair close by. It can be nice to kind of help you with your balance. So one option will be to hold the knee into the chest and into the stomach. If you're feeling like the balance is strong, you want a little more challenge, what you can take is your two peace sign fingers. So your index and your middle finger and your thumb. Just going to reach for the big toe on your right foot. Now, if you're here, this is awesome. Great opportunity to open up the hips. If you wanted to work on straightening out your leg, you could do that. So you could give it a kick out in front. And there's also a variation where you kick it out to the side of the room. Maybe gaze off your left fingertips. You could take a little mudra in through the hands too if you wanted. You could take your index and your thumb to touch, finding that chin mudra, yana mudra. And release. We're going to bring it back to center, feet out nice and wide. Let's do a little empty coat sleeves to the right and the left. We'll see if it's a little easier on the second side. Sometimes it is. We have our body muscle memory. First time we try a pose, we're a little checking it out. What's going on here? Second side, we know what's going on, so it can be a little easier. So either reach for the front of your knee, pull it in, maybe index, middle, thumb, reach for the big toe on your right foot. You can give it a kick out in front. Maybe work on that hip opening if you'd like. Right hand to the right. Maybe gaze off the right fingertips. And release. We're going to bring ourselves back to center. Feet come out nice and wide, arms side to side. And let's find our way down to the ground. So we'll go through a little sun A here variation. Hands to the sky, inhale. Come on down to the ground, we'll fold. Bring yourself to a half lift. Come on back, let's bring it into plank, high push-up. And up dog, but we're gonna hold our up dog. So let's lower down chaturanga, upward facing dog, and gaze off your right shoulder. Look back for your right toes. And back to center, let's lengthen, gaze off the left. Back to center, let's lengthen here. Nice full breath in, lift it up, downward facing dog. Knees begin to lower, hips to heels will come to a child's pose. So in this one, either your knees are together, that nice opening for your low back. You can also take your big toes to touch, maybe knees away from one another, giving yourself that hip stretch and leg stretch. And just trying to let yourself relax more and more with the exhale. Let's bring it up to table. You can sweep your feet to the right or the left. We'll come into seated. And as you come into seated, let's go down onto the back. And knees to the chest, hug them in. Let's take a rock to the right and to the left. And feet are gonna plant down, knees are gonna bend. Little support to the head here. Let's work our core. So first we're going to tuck the tailbone. We wanna feel our navel move back and up to the spine slightly. Try to keep the core engaged the whole time. And then let's lift our head, neck, shoulders up. And then we're gonna come on down lower, lift and lengthen up, let it go. And just flow here with your breath. And so try not to crank the head too much on this one. So we just want to offer that gentle support to the head. And then always keeping the core engaged. Maybe imagine that that there was a grape, if you drew a line from your navel down to the yoga mat, and almost like you wanted to squish the grape. So that will create that sensation of engaging the core. And release. Let's take happy baby stretch from here. Reach for the feet. Flex the feet, reach out through the heels, little rock to the right and to the left. Knees will float to the chest, hug them in, gently roll to the right and the left. Try to release tension here on the low back. Soothe any tense muscles. From here, we are going to come into Shavasana. We'll take a little time to relax, the resting pose of the yoga practice. Just how we started, feel free to relax your legs along the mat. You can also have the knees bent, feet are planted. This is a really nice opportunity just to take in all of the benefits of the practice. Let's take a moment to deepen the breath. You wiggle fingers, wiggle the toes. Come to your side. Let's come into a fetal position. And as you come into fetal, just feel that pillow gently supporting your head. Feel your body taking the shape of the pose. And from here, we will make our way into a comfortable seated position. So as you take seated, let's just work a little with our neck here. So we're just going to bring ourselves into some neck circles. Maybe find large circles, maybe smaller circles. And reverse. We'll flow in the other direction. And then let's take that gentle circling of the neck into the torso. A little bit of a roll from to the right and to the left. Trying to melt away any tension that you may be holding onto in the low back. And reverse. Flow in the other direction. And then release. We'll bring ourselves to stillness here. Hands to the heart in prayer in Anjali Mudra. And thank yourself for practicing yoga today. For doing something so good for your mind, body, and spirit. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. It's great to be here with you. I hope that you enjoyed the practice today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.